Why, hello. Hey, YouTube friends. How's it going? All is well here at Dee's Creative Corner. My name is Danielle Coleman. I'm a Creative Memories Independent Advisor, and I love scrapbooking. And so do you. That's why you guys are here. And I have been missing in action for several months. I had our little fur friend, my fur baby, join us, and that has been a transition, and we are starting to get on a schedule. And like I said, this is my first dog, and she was kind of running my schedule, and now she's getting on my schedule. So now I get to get back in my scrap room. So I hope all is well. The fall weather is beautiful up here in Saskatoon, and also, today we're going to be working with Ruffin It, the new collection with Creative Memories with the puppy. Naturally, I'm going to scrapbook Honey because that's why I was away. So, without further ado, let's flip over and get started. Welcome back. All right, let's flip over. Hello. All right, so you see I have the Ruffin It designer paper pack, and I also have a project recipe that I pulled off the blog. I'm not going to follow it exactly, but this is a great jumping off point for me. I'm going to follow the layout of the pictures, and I'm going to use the paw print and the square punch, but I'm not going to use as much designer paper, okay? So let me pull in my photos, and we'll just kind of go from there. And like I said, we're working with the Ruffin It collection. This is my first scrapbook page for Honey when we got her. And I haven't cut or mat any of my photos. I wanted to show you guys. I print at home with the Epson 400, and I do 4x4s and then 4x6. So how the sketch has it, let me move my little tray of embellishments away. How the sketch shows, it has 3.5 by 3.5 photos. I printed mine 4x4. So we have a 4x4 here. It's been a while, you guys. Let me move this out of the way. We'll go through the paper in just a moment. So I have a 4x4, and then I have a 4x6 here. Can kind of see right here. And then I have a 4x6. Like I said, I'm going to trim them, and then I'll mat them depending on what papers we choose. So I think I'm going to have this one up here, and then we'll do this because this was when we first got her, and then when we got home. So general layout, super easy. And then I'm going to have a title. I did a small little Cricut title, and it says Home Forever. So I'll end up doing a little title there. And then what I'm planning on, so in the project recipe on designer paper 1, which is a 5x12 and a 7x12, it's these two right here. Those are the ones that I'm going to use for my designer paper. Everything else is going to be cardstock, okay? So the cuts that I'm going to make with the designer is a 5x12 and a 7x12. And let's kind of pull in the papers. And I'm going to be building on some cream, like beige colored. I'm gonna build off of that. I didn't want it white because I think I figured out which one I wanted, just because a lot of these are bold, busy patterns, and we're just gonna use them in small little doses. So you can see these are really loud, and I am not going to be choosing anything with the blues. I might do a little with the red just because of the photos. It has this little orange feed ball that she still enjoys it. So what I was thinking is I'm going to do the paw print, and we'll cut this 5 by 12, and then the other remaining will be, and of course this is directional, so you always want to watch the directions depending on how the orientation. I'm going to have them going up and down, so I will cut them so it's vertical. So I'm going to do this at 5 inches, and then this remaining is going to be on the other side. So let's move the rest. That's all the pattern paper I'm using. Like I said, I might pull in a sliver of this red. We'll see how that goes. I'll just move those aside. And then what I'm planning on doing is for the borders, I'm going to use cardstock instead, and then I'm going to mat and do the paws in something else. So let's move that aside, and we'll move my photos. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to mat them on the dark brown hot fudge. I forget if it's, I think it's dark brown. Let me see. Hot fudge. Yeah, hot fudge. I'll mat these on hot fudge. So then we'll have one sheet over here, one sheet over here. And once I get going, I will tack my papers down. And then again, like the photos in that, kind of do that. We've got to move them over because we're going to build a border on this side. And then there's that, and then the two up here. And then how I'm going to build the border is I'm going to use hot fudge, craft, and black. This is how I'm building. In here, they have a bunch of designer papers. I decided to use just the regular cardstock because I want the pictures to shine, and sometimes with a lot of busy patterns, the photos can get lost. So you guys know, yes, I'm simple, and that's how I'm going. And then I can, you know, stretch the designer papers a little bit further into more layouts. So let me get my photos matted. I'm going to mat them on this hot fudge, and that it will show quite well on this. It does have the caramel as a coordinating cardstock as well, but I think the hot fudge will make it pop a little bit more. So let me do that, and I will be right back. All right, so I have matted my photos. I haven't tacked them down yet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start building this border. So if we go back over here, it says design paper number 2. And again, I'm using cardstock, and I'm gonna cut 2.25 by 12-inch strips. And then we will build our little paw punch. And remember, you can use any type of, let me just wait, 2.25. I talk and measure at the same time, does not work for me. You can use this sketch for Christmas, Halloween, birthday. You can put the different embellishments on the little squares. And hello, honey. Yes, I am recording, and she has been good, and now she's down here by my feet asking, Mom, who are you talking to now? So So I'm gonna have that on the side, okay? And then, let me put that away. And then I have the square punch. And what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna do it all on camera. I'm just gonna do one. And so I'm going to just take my square and make a punch. And this will, I think I'm going to punch 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of these. And then what I'll do is I'll take my paw print and I will get my black cardstock and I will punch 12 of these. This is a little bit more time consuming, but it's a relatively simple design to follow. And I'm not going to do anything with the debris that fell out. You can certainly punch another color and make it a little fancier and add into the paws. I'm not going to. And then, so we're going to continue that on both sides all the way down. And then I have one over here that I started. I haven't finished. And then, like I said, I have, and with this, I'm gonna have a little journaling spot here, a spot for my title, and then we're gonna do some embellishing. So let me get all this adhered. I'm gonna finish punching these off of camera and I will be right back. All right, so I have everything adhered and we'll just do a few simple embellishments and then we'll call this a done page. I'm gonna just pull this recipe back in, and did you notice I added a red strip just because, you know, it had the orange colored ball and I wanted to kind of break up all the browns. So I hope that was okay. And then, like I said, they don't have a ton of embellishments, so we're just gonna do it simple. I am gonna show you also real quick that you can make out of the square punch, you can make it a birthday page, you can make it for Christmas, and then just add your coordinating papers and your photos. So I know not everybody is pet lovers, and I wasn't until my grand dog 2 years ago came into our lives, and I grew up without animals. My father had outdoor hunting dogs, and because I was allergic, we never could have cats or dogs in the house. But with the hypoallergenic animals, I am able to have a puppy now. So I am a new dog mom, and I promise I won't inundate our YouTube channel with dog and paw. I just wanted to come back and, you know, document her because she's the reason why I was off of YouTube for so long. So anyways, I just wanted to tell you that quick story. Like I said, this was our first day picking her up back in August, and yes, we're in October now. So what I did is I cut a mat card in half, and I took my Cricut title, and I'm gonna just put that over there. And then I'm gonna use this for journaling. I'll put that down there. And I was, you know, I was looking through the borders and the stickers. I'm not gonna add anything of those. And then, you know, I'm just thinking, you know, just a little simple, you know, like a little paw, just to kind of bring in that red. Maybe the smaller one. We'll go with the bigger one. We'll do that. And then, you know, she was in her bed, and I did see this sticker with the pup laying on the bed, but I'm just like, it's blue. I don't have any blue in here, so I'm gonna pass on that. But then, You know, it's like you got to pull in a few of the different, I sometimes just don't know with colors. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not perfect. You know, we could do good dog, little treat up there, little bone. And let's take a peek at the stickers here. My dog thinks I'm cool. Yes. I'm gonna maybe do something, love you, right down here. Do that. Yeah, we'll tack that down. That, we'll put a little heart up here. Somewhere over in there. I think that will be good. And I think that will be, I don't know, I'd like to add something down here, but nothing is jumping out at me. So I'm just gonna leave it. All right, let me adhere this and then we will be done. All right, so I went back and I decided to add the little dog. I have to get over my color thing. It's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. I thought this was adorable because she's sitting there, laying there. We didn't have her dog bed yet, and so I ended up doing just a little cluster down here, and I went into my, I have a bunch of sentiments that I have from, oh gosh, I can't remember all of the colors, the tonal ones. I put all the sentiments aside and I pulled something off of that, went into my stash a little bit. But for the most part, the most time consuming part of this was punching those out and adhering. And I didn't measure, I eyeball things. I'm not a perfectionist. I'll tell you guys that every time, but I just wanted to document this day. So let's flip over and make sure I don't get a black screen. Hello. So, all right, I feel like I'm brand new all over again, starting over on my YouTube. So I hope I can keep consistent and get some more videos out in the next few weeks. We were busy. We had a wedding in Kentucky, and that was in a few weeks ago in October. And then we were in Texas for September. So, and November is coming up just upon us, and we'll be traveling into Wisconsin. So yeah, always on the go, but I find time to do scrapbooking. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And I love the comments and the likes and the subscribes and all the fun things. I'm just gonna say, if you do not have a Creative Memories advisor, feel free to contact me and I can help you out. I do it for a hobby. I don't do it for business. I truly, this is my passion and I am sharing it with you guys. So again, thank you and stay tuned for the next video. Who knows what I'm going to do, but we'll come up with something. So, all right, bye-bye for now.